Fresh off Fitch's belated downgrade of the drunkest sailors in Washington, a major credit agency once again recognized reality as Moody's downgraded a bevy of regional banks that together represent 1/7 of the American banking system. What set Moody's off was concerns about, quote, rising funding costs, capital weakness, and asset risk. In other words, it's getting hard for regional banks to borrow money since investors are afraid that they'll go bust. This is draining their cash buffers, even as they're already losing money on what's already in the vault, especially commercial real estate as America's cities go full Mad Max Bartertown. Sadly, neither Yellen nor Powell popped out to reassure Americans that our Ponzi banks are sound enough to squeeze out another 6 weeks of spring. Moody's downgrades included M&T with $200 billion in assets, plus a rogues gallery who collectively have another $400 billion. So about the scale of the banks who've already gone under. Moody's also put some pretty big banks on review for downgrade, including U.S. Bancorp, America's 7th biggest, Truist, which is number 9, Mellon, number 13, and State Street at number 15. I mentioned Truist the other day as one of the biggest users of, quote, brokered deposits, renting deposits from other banks to appear healthy, which is kind of sketchy. Together with the downgrades, that comes to roughly 1/7 of the entire U.S. banking system. In a final kick to the head, Moody's tossed some more banks on negative outlook, including America's 8th biggest bank, PNC, and Capital One with $471 billion in their wallet. So why so serious? Moody fingered the Fed that the, quote, wind down of unconventional monetary policy, meaning hiking rates to cancel the Fed's inflation, is hurting banks' cost of capital asset values. They are too polite to mention the assist from dying cities hitting commercial real estate, which regional banks specialize in. In response to the downgrade, the KRE, which measures regional bank stocks, fell almost 5% before recovering some of that through the day. But even the major banks got hit since they've got the same problems in less concentrated form and, of course, with more senators on speed dial. So what is next? Moody's noted that the banks in questions are already cutting back on loans, which preserves their money, but it could turn them into walking dead. After all, if your owed loans aren't paying anything thanks to the Fed's low rates, plus you can't get new money, plus you're afraid to make new loans, you're pretty much running down the clock. At this point, essentially every bank who doesn't have a Wall Street address is running down the clock, living off taxpayer-funded cheap loans, regulatory smoke and mirrors, and slush funds like the BTFP or the FHLB. Given some of the top banks in America were on this hit list, collectively representing 1/7 of the entire banking system, when recession fully hits, we could see another wave of die-offs, and we will certainly see another round of trillion-dollar taxpayer bailouts. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.